Watch this video until the end and listen to this important message.
You've probably heard it time and again. Perhaps you've even thought about it. Whether everything in our universe works perfectly. For every positive, there is a negative. I would have to agree with this for the most part. I still don't think it's a complete answer, but it gives us a glimpse and a practical understanding of how the universe behaves. I will explain this in the simplest and easiest way. You don't need to be a scientist, a computer programmer, a doctor, an engineer, or an astronaut to understand this. Your daily experience is enough. The majority of people believe that there is only one law that governs our society. They think it's the government laws like criminal law, civil law, constitutional law, administrative law, international law, actual damages, and punitive damages. These examples of government laws protect our general safety. They ensure our rights as citizens against abuse by other people, by organisations, and by the government itself. We have laws to help provide for our general safety. These exist at the local, state, and national levels. They are also for maintaining order, resolving disputes, protecting liberties and human rights. But did you know that there's also a kind of law to keep the world or nature in order and organised? This is what we call the universal law, or the law of nature. These laws are the responsible governing force that determines without fail every aspect of creation. These include each of the events, conditions and circumstances experienced by you, me and everyone else in the world on both an individual and a collective scale. Universal laws are not based on theory or speculation. What at one point was believed to be only theoretical, mystical or spiritual in nature and understood by only those who learn to tap into the place from where higher truth comes, has now emerged and become evident in the latest scientific discoveries. It can be measured on a physical level. What's important is that you understand that they do exist. Should you choose to align and harmonise with them in a conscious and intentional way, you'll in essence flow with and learn to be grateful for each event, condition and circumstance that you encounter as various aspects of your life unfold. We'll be exploring how and why that's true in greater detail as we progress. The first law is the law of oneness. The first law states that everything is connected to everything else. What we think, say, do or believe will have a corresponding effect on others, as well as the universe around us. According to the law, all of humanity and all of the creation are one. Everything that exists, both seen or unseen, is connected to everything. When we become aware of this law and believe that everything is one, the way we think and act with respect to everyone and everything around us will change. We will see our own reflection in the people and things around us. It means that the more good we think about others, the better it comes back to us. It becomes us. Everything in this universe is made up of energy. You, your friends, your enemies, the chair you sit on, the laptop you work on, and the phone you make calls on. And this energy is what governs the movement of everything in this universe. Number 2. The law of vibration. The law of vibration states that everything in the universe moves and vibrates. Everything is vibrating at one speed or another. Nothing rests. Everything you see around you is vibrating, and so are you. However, your frequency is different from other things in the universe, and that's why it seems like you are separated from what you see around you. That's animals, plants, trees, and so on. In truth, you are not separated. You are in fact living in an ocean of energy, as we all are. We are all connected at the lowest level. When we go down onto a subatomic level, we don't find matter, but pure energy. Some call this the unified field or the matrix. Everything has its own vibrational frequency. The table, the car, the picture frame, the rock, even our thoughts and feelings. It is all governed by the law of vibration. Einstein said, "Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics." Number 3, the law of action. The law of action is what is required to manifest our thoughts and desires. In the book The Secret, it's what the author refers to as inspired action. Inspired action because the need to act on something will not feel like a force at all and would be more of an instinctive doing. The law further states that you must do the things and perform the actions necessary to achieve what you are setting out to do. Action sets into motion our thoughts and desires. Everything from creating a to-do list to taking up an offer on gut instinct corresponds to an action that will, in turn, set your intentions into motion. I always mention this in my videos. You need to take action, always moving forward to keep your balance, just like riding a bike. Number 4, the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. This is the law of correspondence in so many words. The universal law of correspondence states that the principles or laws of physics that explain the physical world, energy, light, vibration, and motion, have their corresponding principles in the etheric or the higher universe, that which is not material. Basically, whatever is above is like that which is below, and whatever is below is like that which is above. So, if you put it into simpler terms, whatever you are thinking or feeling within is exactly what is happening outside of your mind and body. And this relates to every object, place, or person you come in contact with. If you're thinking hate, hate is what is being corresponded by you externally. Your external life and surroundings are a reflection of what you're thinking and feeling within you. If you're feeling messed up in your head and heart, it reflects in the way you work externally, in the way you keep your work desk, or even in your private home space. If you're in a calm state of mind internally, your external surroundings resonate with that sense of calm. And that is why it's humanly difficult at some times, even impossible, to conflict with the way we feel on the inside. It's hard to feel happy deep within and act like we are angry outwardly, or feel depressed from within and act like we are absolutely fine externally. People can always tell. Number 5, the law of cause and effect. This is the law that equals what we laymen know as karma. Every thought, action, or word by you is a cause, and every reaction, feeling, or assumption that is created through that cause is the effect. It's like a pendulum or a boomerang. It's like a bouncing ball. The harder you throw it, the higher it bounces back. The law of cause and effects states that every cause has an effect, and every effect becomes the cause of something else. This suggests that the universe is always in motion, and itself progressed from a chain of events. It's like a pack of dominoes, like a chain reaction of sorts. This law, in its most basic working model, is proof that the world is round, and the universe, too, is indeed in that spherical shape. If you throw something, it will come back to you full circle. Every action, creation, or invention affects human behaviour in some way. Number 6, the law of compensation. This is an extension of the law of cause and effect, and by that way of karma itself. The law states that you get what you give. Each person is compensated in a manner for that which he or she has contributed. The law states that one shall always be compensated for the efforts and for the contribution, whatever it may be, however much or however little. So, if you invest only for today, you will benefit only for tomorrow. If you invest for a lifetime, you will never stop reaping the benefits. If the law of cause and effect ensures that each of your thoughts and actions returns to you, the law of compensation ensures the quantity and quality of those returns. Now, you probably see the reason behind the saying, the more you give, the more you will receive, or the more you give, the more you get. Number 7. The law of attraction. This is the law that the book The Secret elaborates on extensively, and so this is the most common of all the laws. But this law alone doesn't ensure everything unless implemented in tandem with the rest of the laws. The law of attraction responds to your truest thoughts and actions. Our job is to hold on to those thoughts that we want, make it absolutely clear in our minds what we want, and from that, we can start to invoke one of the greatest laws in the universe, the law of attraction. You become what you think about the most, but you also attract what you think about the most. If you see it in your mind, you're going to hold it in your hand. Number 8. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. It states that every individual has within themselves the power to change their circumstances, no matter what they may be. Wallace D. Wattles, author of The Science of Getting Rich, talks about this law, saying that, simply put, energy from the formless realm is constantly flowing into the material world and taking form. This energy is limitless and inexhaustible. As old forms are exhausted, they give way for new forms to emerge from the invisible hidden energy of the universe. What this means is that the energy in the universe is constantly moving from one object or individual into the other. If you imagine it, it's actually incredible. We can harness this energy to manifest and create whatever it is that we want by emitting the same vibrations. We can shape this formless energy with the thoughts in our mind and change it, the most fundamental tenet that this law is based on. The fact that the energy in and around us can be moulded in whichever way we want, the fact that we are free to change our current conditions however and whenever we want to, is proof that change really is the only constant in the universe, and it's never something to worry about. Because change is good, and this is the reason behind it. We're supposed to embrace change and mould it into our own wishes. Bruce Lee said, "Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water in a cup, it becomes a cup. You put water into a bottle and it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot and it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend." Number 9. The law of relativity. The law of relativity states that each person will receive a series of problems, tests of initiation or lessons, for the purpose of strengthening the light within. Each of these tests or lessons are to be viewed as a challenge and remain connected to our hearts when proceeding to solve the problems. It shows that no matter how bad we might presume our scenario to be, there is always someone else who is having it worse than us. The law of relativity shows us that it all really is just relative. It's a matter of perspective. Everything in our material world is made real only by the relationships or in comparison with other things. So basically, nothing would ever exist until and unless we give meaning to it. In the spiritual realm, however, it becomes the opposite, as in that world we view things as is. Eckhart Tolle, in his book A New Earth, writes, "In form, you are and will always be inferior to some, superior to others. In essence, you are neither inferior nor superior to anyone. True self-esteem and true humility arise out of that realization. In the eyes of the ego, self-esteem and humility are contradictory. In fact, they are one and the same. Understanding the exact meaning of this will enlighten you to the relevance of the law of relativity. Life is happening for you and not to you. All problems that you are facing have a reason and a purpose to help you to evolve into the best version of you. Number 10. The law of polarity. According to the law, everything is in a continuum and has an opposite. Where there is black, there is white. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is good, there is also bad, and henceforth. This is why we are able to change our flow of thoughts or frequencies easily. If we're on a negative train of thought, we can instantly change over to positive. The law of polarity validates that this is a universe of duality. Everything exists in twos. Every energy has a dual. The opposites, however, are never absolute. There is no set point of where it starts and ends, and that's what marks the polarity of the law. The law states, in fact, these opposites are simply different manifestations of the same thing. According to Napoleon Hill, author of the classic Think and Grow Rich, every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. According to the Kybalion, an ancient book published in and around 1808 by a group of unidentified initiates, everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths, and all paradoxes may be reconciled. Remember, we live in a positive and negative extreme, but those extremes or degrees are actually infinite. Number 11. The law of rhythm. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens at the right time. In the Kybalion, it said everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides, all things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. Every vibration has a certain rhythm to it, and that's how it attracts another vibration that falls into the same pattern or rhythmic flow. These rhythms, cycles, seasons, and developmental stages are created. The principle can be seen in the waves of the ocean, in the rise and fall of the greatest empires, in business cycles, in the swaying of your thoughts from being negative and positive, and in your personal successes and failures. In accordance to this law, when anything reaches its culmination, then the backward swing begins almost unnoticeably until such time that any forward movement has been totally reversed, and then the forward movement begins again. The process is repeated. Number 12. The law of gender. This law states that everything exists in the masculine as well as the feminine. They are two sides of the same coin, yin and yang. This is the law that governs creation. The law of gender, in its simplest understanding, states that everything in nature is both male and female. Both are required equally in order for life to exist. No one is greater or lesser than the other, and both sides are inhabited within each individual, irrespective of whether or not one is a male or female. The question now is, what is it all about? What is the purpose of all these laws? Why has the Creator invented or programmed something like this? The answer is simple. When we look at the vortex math, all of the numbers are connected, like within our reality and our existence. They're all energies. The 3, 6, and 9 are the laws that govern the world at the quantum level. As you can see, The numbers 3, 6 and 9 are forming a pattern, a triangle. This triangle signifies the balance, and that is the answer. The world is governed by means of balance. Balance on everything. This is how the universe or our world behaves. Maybe this is not the answer to all of our questions, but perhaps this is the key or a tool to help us find the secrets of the universe. And I want to show you more evidence and to testify why the balance is the key to everything. The way we think, the way we rationalize things, and the way the universe behaves, and why balance is everywhere, to all existence and creation. Please watch until the end.
Type Amen if you feel abundant. Remember to like this video, and give thanks. Watch this important message right now.